this afternoon? I said, how is everyone doing this afternoon? Great day, great day. So some years ago, I decided I needed an Easter song, so I wrote one. It's very short and simple, and maybe we have words that can go up on the screen. That would be great, because then y'all could sing along with me, because it's not hard. It's easy. Resurrect, there it is. Resurrect your soul. Here we go. Resurrect your soul. Wake up and behold. Open your eyes and see. You are your destiny. Resurrect your soul. Let your truth unfold. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Now that you know it, sing it loud. Here we go. Resurrect your soul. Wake up and behold. Open your eyes and see. You are your destiny. Resurrect your soul. Let your truth unfold. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Let's do it once more. Resurrect your soul. Wake up and behold. Open your eyes and see that you are your destiny. Resurrect your soul. Let your truth unfold. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Just that last part. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Now is your season, your time. Renew your heart and your mind. Yeah, that got you warmed up. Good, good. You ready to sing some more? Let's do it. Let's do it. Welcome to Awaken. I am Reverend Christy Snow, and I'm happy that you are here. Whoever you are and wherever you're from, you are welcome. Whether you're right here in this room or online, we're so glad you're here. So this is our opportunity to turn and say good afternoon to your neighbor. You are welcome here. I think we have some words for that too. Just the way you are. You are wanted here. So open up your heart. Lay all your fears and all your doubts aside. Let go of all the hurt you hold inside. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Can you feel the love of all who've gathered round? You are worthy of this gift of love right now. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Well, who'd have known that who you are is enough? And who'd have known that you could be so loved? Well, we knew. Now you know. Yes, we knew. Now you know. You are welcome here. wanted here. So open up your heart. Last time, sing it with me. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here. So open up your heart. All right.
Great day, great day, great day. Come on, let's give it a great applause that we made it here today on this beautiful, beautiful Resurrection Sunday. Welcome to Awaken Spiritual Community here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Online family, thank you so much for joining us. Your presence is felt even online. Thank you so much. I love that song. Y'all know I love that song. You are welcome here, just the way you are. That is so beautiful to me. Hi, Creed Ali Middleton, celebrating his 2nd birthday. So, here at Awaken, we love to start off with our vision and mission statement. And we're going to have it posted in just a moment. So all of us just take a collective deep breath. So here at Awaken, we are a global community that recognizes, honors, and nurtures the dignity and uniqueness of all people and the oneness of creation. Yes, and our mission here is that we connect through the energy of loving kindness, spiritual practice, and sacred service. All right, so y'all know we're excited, right? Because we got our announcements. We're getting ready for our grand reopening weekend next weekend. But first of all, we want to thank Megan for starting off with the Easter egg hunt. She's over at the Lighthouse, but we're offering great thanks for her. We're starting our children's church this Sunday. So let's give her a hand and all of our volunteers for our children's church. We had a great turnout today, so we're excited about that and looking forward to our growth even more each and every Sunday. So please keep inviting. And so, again, with our grand gala, so on Friday night, the tickets are available now. We're going to be dancing the night away with Eddie Watkins Jr. He's going to be here. We're going to have festivities and food over in the Lighthouse next door, and then we're going to have dancing and music here. And for those of you who were in the house last year, we had a time. So you don't want to miss it. So make sure you get your tickets, and we're going to be fancy. We're going to dress up. We're going to be fancy, so be ready. So Eddie Watkins Jr. will be there on Friday. And then we have our Saturday. Y'all can go to the slide ahead of that, and that is with our joint community opportunity with Awaken and Heartlight together, a day of unity and spirit. So that's going to be from 10 to 2 at Heart here on campus. So at 10 o'clock, you get to do a tour of the facilities. We're getting to know you, and we're going to have pastries and coffee. And then from 11 to 1, it's going to be a treat. We're going to have Reverend Christy from Awaken share about who we are here in the community. And then we're going to hear from Reverend David Hulse as well. So Heartlight is going to be in the building, y'all. So we got to make sure we're here. We got to represent, right? Come on, let's give it up some energy. Let's make sure we're here and present. So, and then at 1 o'clock, we're going to have a fellowship over some food. We're going to have a hot dog cart, and we know we are a vegan friendly community, so we're going to have some vegan options available as well. We're making sure of that. And so make sure you're inviting. The call is out. It is our time right now. So this is not a dress rehearsal. We need to be ready for this time that's going on in the earth. And then on Sunday, see, look, I'm taking a breath. It's a busy, busy, busy week. So Amy Steinberg, yay, she's going to be here all day. So she's going to be with Heartlight in the morning, and then she's going to have her concert at 1:30. So from 1:30 to 3 is the concert, and then we're going to have our potluck, and then at 3 o'clock, and then we're going to have our service at 4:30. Okay? So let's make sure we are ready. Make sure you all have your Mountain Dew, your coffee, whatever it is you need to do for the weekend. Be ready. And then we have our grand reopening service. I think that's what we said. So yeah, so we're going to have Reverend Esau available. Reverend Dr. Renee Laboa, Amy Steinberg would also be at our service at 4:30 on Sunday. So let us just say, we're excited. Are we excited? Yeah. Come on now. So this place needs to be full. Do you agree that people need to know who we are? Yes. All right. So let's make sure this place is full on Sunday, Saturday, Friday. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. And after that, Reverend Christy is participating in, it's here. Getting to the next slide. The International New Thought Alliance World Congress is at Unity Village. It's called The Power of New Thought Now, Love, Service, and Wisdom. It's going to be June 2nd through 5th. And you can purchase your tickets at newthoughtalliance.org. Again, that whole 3 days is less than $500. So please come out. You're going to have a great time. You get to hear from Reverend Christie's mentors. And you don't want to miss out. So, Reverend Christy, did you have anything to say about that?
Just that, it's the oldest, this is the 110th Congress.
It's the 110th Congress.
It's the 110th World Congress.
I know she's coming. She's coming, y'all.
It's the 110th World Congress. It's the oldest New Thought organization in the world. We will have speakers there from Jamaica, from Alabama. We'll have them from all over. Those two went together. It was kind of funny. The first two came to mind. The one from Alabama is my teacher, and that's Reverend David Leonard. Reverend Dr. Lisa Stewart, my other teacher, will be there. I will be presenting music with Reverend Dale Worley and a woman named Envy, who is phenomenal, from the Kansas City area, and some other Kansas City musicians. It's going to be a really great time. Unity Village is kind of, I don't know, it's a New Thought mecca to me. It has our archives for Science of Mind, the archives for Unity, the archives for International New Thought Alliance. It's the hub, and it's where Charles and Myrtle Fillmore started. So it's hundreds of acres of just sacred space where many, many, many people have gone. There's a beautiful labyrinth. It's on and on. The hotel is built on green energy, and it's a sweet, awesome place. So if you are thinking about a retreat this year, I highly recommend that one. There you go.
Thank you. And that's going to be in Kansas City, Missouri. Unity Village is in Kansas City, Missouri. Sounds like a well worth trip. All right. And for those of you who are ever in need of prayer support, we have a practitioner on duty every Sunday. This Sunday we have Terry Ann. She's going to raise her hand in the front so she can meet with you after service. We have it's called affirmative prayer. And so she will offer that to you. And if throughout the week, you can email us at prayer@awakeningcarolina.org. That is prayer@awakeningcarolina.org. Or you can text or call us at 980-292-4433. And someone is available to offer you prayer, okay? And let's get excited now. We're going to have David deliver our Science of Mind reading and highlight. Thank you, David. Come on, y'all. Give it up.
Thank you very much. Today's reading is Renewed in Spirit. The first quote is from Martin Luther. Our Lord has written the promise of resurrection, not in books alone, but in every leaf in springtime. And the second quote is from Ernest Holmes' Living the Science of Mind. Easter is the glad remembrance of ever-ascending spirit within us. It is the resurrection of the body of our affairs from the tomb of confusion. On this Easter Sunday, let us celebrate the eternal resurrection happening within us. Easter is not merely an historical event, but also a profound reminder of the transformative power of spirit. Just as the stone was rolled away from the tomb, revealing a new life, so too can we roll away the burdens of doubt, fear, and limitation. This day invites us to release the old and embrace the new, to recognize that the Christ consciousness, the universal truth of love, peace, and infinite possibility, dwells within us, ever ready to be awakened. When we align with this truth, we become co-creators with the divine, giving rise to lives filled with joy, purpose, and abundance. As Ernest Holmes tells us, our consciousness of God within us is the resurrection we seek. No matter where you are on your journey, today is an opportunity to affirm life, to rise above perceived limitations, and to step boldly into the light of possibility. Let Easter be your moment of renewal, a sacred pause to embrace the truth that the Spirit within you is eternal, whole, and complete. Let today be a day of spiritual awakening and celebration. Happy Easter. And today's affirmation, I'm not sure if we're going to post it up or not. Okay, next slide. Okay, so we can read it together. I rise into the fullness of my divine nature, knowing the Spirit within me is always renewing, transforming, and expressing as love and joy. And today's monthly reading is for Diversity Month. Diversity Month, observed each April, is a time to recognize, celebrate, and learn about the diverse cultures, backgrounds, and traditions that make up our world. It's an opportunity to foster understanding, appreciation, and inclusion, and to work towards a more equitable and inclusive society. Key aspects of Diversity Month. Recognizing and celebrating diversity. It's a time to acknowledge and appreciate the unique characteristics of individuals and groups, including race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, religion, ability, and socioeconomic background. And I know that right now it's a time when this is being frowned upon by certain groups of people, but we have to remember that this is the truth. Diversity Month encourages dialogue and learning about different perspectives and experiences, promoting empathy and understanding between people. We need more empathy and understanding between people. It aims to create environments where everyone feels valued, respected, and included, regardless of their differences. Many organizations and communities use Diversity Month as a springboard for taking concrete steps to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in their workplaces, schools, and communities. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
So cute and exciting that we have our kids, first kids, or,
Junior church.
thank you, junior church, kids church, whatever you want to say, children's church, there we go, for the first time today. That's really exciting. So I want to remember to bring them in, so y'all help me remember that, okay? At the end. You got the one job. Let's take a moment or 2 or 10, I don't know. Let's just see where it goes. Let's take time to release and relax and drop into the energy of love right here and right now. Right here, right now, we have come into the presence of God, and our hearts are open to the love that's found right here, right now. Right here, right now, we have come into the presence of God, and our hearts are open to the love that's found right here, right now. So let's just take a moment and consciously open our hearts, our minds, relax our bodies and our thoughts, and make the choice to be open and receptive to the living spirit of truth moving through this moment, through this day, through this community, through each of us. Knowing that we are each here to be blessed, and knowing that we are each also that blessing. And so I just rest in the awareness of love's presence. I surrender into that power and presence within me, that space that knows. I give great thanks for all of the good in my life. I give great thanks for Awaken spiritual community, for each and every person here right now, online and in person. And what I know is that we each are the ripple that causes change, and that our world needs us. And so I continually drop into that awareness of love's presence, that love's presence right here and right now. And I say, move through me, express as me. Right here, right now, we have come into the presence of God, and our hearts are open to the love that's found right here, right now. And our hearts are open to the love that's found right here, right now. Let's stay in that energy of stillness for a few more minutes, allowing your shoulders to continue to just drop and relax. Allowing your mind to be still, trusting and knowing that thoughts continue to come and to go. And you just let them. And on this Easter Sunday, this time of resurrection, resurrecting, renewing, moving forward, springing forth, all of that. Allow anything that wants to come to your heart and to your mind. If it's questioning whether or not you left the coffee pot on, or if it's a big sigh of relief because you're finally ready to let something go. Just allow it all for the next couple of moments. Just allow it all. Focusing on your breath. Breathing in deeply. Exhaling slowly and fully. On the in-breath, remembering that God is all there is by whatever name we give it. And on the exhale, I am one with it. And just keep that going. we just breathe. Relax. Breathe and relax. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. One more, and we're going to let it out audibly. There we go. Yeah, feels good. Feels good. So my wife and I were leaving a little downtown activity last night in our little small town of Awaken, North Carolina. It was a very picturesque evening. The sun was setting as the music was playing and the babies were running. It was great. And I said, I got to go. I got an appointment with the Easter Bunny. And she said, I'm sorry, what? And I said, I'll see you at the house. You know, this is the first year that Jolie's gonna she didn't remember last year but this year. I said, I got to be prepared. So and she goes, you're gonna tell her the Easter Bunny's real? We haven't even talked about this. And I'm like, I got this. So I came home and I was like, Joe, I'm gonna read you a book. Well, not really. I'm gonna tell you a story. It's like reading a book, but it's in Mama's mind, okay? So sit down. So I'm competing with Daniel Tiger, so, I was worried. But I said, okay, long time ago, like way long time ago, 4th, 5th century, long time ago, there was a group of people, and every time the leaves would start to come on the trees, and the flowers would start to pop up, and the color would come back to the landscape, and, it's like it is right now. Everything starts to bloom, and the birds are happy, and everything. They would get very excited. And they had this goddess that they referred to, Ostara, and they would have these big rituals and beautiful dances around a fire, and they would have bunnies, and they would paint eggs, and they would do all this fun stuff. And it was, a time of renewal, and I saw I was losing her. Anyway, and I was like, okay. Anyway, so you got those people, right? And then fast forward like a few years or 6 or 7 centuries or more, and you got these previously enslaved people that get their exodus from Egypt, right? And so they created a holiday too that they celebrate. It's called Passover. And that's still celebrated today by our Jewish friends, okay? So that's exciting. Still about to lose her, back to Daniel Tiger. And I'm like, just stay with me. So then fast forward a little bit more. I'm going to get to something really important. I'm going to get to chocolate in just a second. And she was back right there. She was back when I said chocolate. So anyway, had her for another minute. Then you fast forward a little more, and you have this guy named Yeshua. And he was so cool. He did a lot of really cool things. He did, some of the stuff we hear about, we're not sure if that really happened, but there's a story in there, right? There's a story in there. So I'm explaining this to an almost 3-year-old. And I'm like, Yeshua, he did all this really cool stuff. And then he had these followers that supported and wanted to celebrate him. And then after he was gone, they really wanted to celebrate him. So they thought, we need our own holiday. I know. These pagans, they were doing this Ostara thing. And then you got the Jewish folks, and they were doing the Passover. So let's just right near that, we'll do ours. And we'll call it Easter. And I said, but wait, Joe, I'm not finished with the story, because she was getting a little bored at this point. She's 2. So I said, but wait, when Mama was a little girl, like your age, little girl, we celebrated Easter with chocolate, because I had to get her back, right? I had to get her back. So I was trying to, come up with, to share a little education. I know it's a little too deep for a 2-year-old. I get that now, but I was going there, and I was committed at this point. And so I was like, my mom would say, okay, let's use our imagination, and let's pretend that there's a magical Easter bunny that shows up like Santa Claus, how we pretend that Santa Claus comes through the chimney, and we don't even have a chimney. You know how we do that, right? So she was like, Santa Claus, wait, and she's back. And I'm like, and so as the big, giant, magical Easter bunny comes and gives the Easter basket. So I'm all this stuff, right? And so, can you in the morning, because guess what? Tomorrow morning is Easter. And she was like, oh. I said, yeah, that means if you use your imaginations real good, she says imaginations. If you use your imaginations real good, then that magical Easter bunny might just show up with a bunny basket. You don't know, a little bunny basket with some chocolate, a little chocolate bunny in there. She's like, chocolate? So she woke up this morning. She was so excited. She was like, chocolate? Right out the gate, right? So she loved her little Easter basket, which had more than just chocolate. And I realized I focused a little too much on the chocolate and not as much on the new life and the renewal and the celebrations of those sorts of things. We'll get there. I realized that when Celeste got in the shower and I went back to my desk, and I heard Celeste coming in the room laughing, and Joe had climbed on top of the table and gotten her M&Ms back, because we actually gave her like 3, right? She got the whole thing, the whole big tube, and was sitting behind her chair. I'm getting to the best part. She looks up, chocolate, right? Chocolate. And she goes, "It's okay to do it your way." Thank you, Daniel Tiger, for that song. It's okay to do it your way, okay? Whether you are celebrating Passover, which ends today, whether you're celebrating Ostara or Yoster from the pagan, Druid, Wiccan traditions, whether you just love spring and you love that element of renewal that nature is giving us. If you studied Ralph Waldo Emerson and your religion is nature, okay? Or if you're really excited about the fact that it's Easter and you grew up in a Christian household and you studied and you practiced and you went in that, I still almost got up this morning at 4:00 because this is like ingrained, the sunrise service, and now I live like right down the street from where that actually happened. I'm like, no, I'm good, I'm gonna sleep. But no matter what, it's a time of renewal. It's a time of renewal. It's a time of new life. It's a time of springing forward. And so I thought we could look at some lessons from Rabbi Yeshua, Jesus. Oh, and when I was in there too, I said his name was Yeshua, Jesus, Yeshua the anointed one, because you do know that the Christ means the anointed, right? So let's look at Rabbi Yeshua and some lessons that we can glean from this resurrection story. So first you have, let's just skip to there's a whole lot you could do, as you know, and many of you have heard, there's many sermons you could do on this topic, many messages. But let's go straight to the Garden of Gethsemane, okay? So here he is. He knows something's coming. He knows what's coming down the pipe from here. And he's like, okay, I need to go pray and meditate. So he takes Peter and James and John, and y'all just keep watch for me. Just hang out here. Yeah, all you got to do is keep watch. What'd they do? Fell asleep 3 times. He goes over there every time. It's like, guys, come on. You can't stay awake for an hour? And he's over there just like, okay, if this cup can pass from me, then great. And if not, help me, Father, right? He's over there and he's really soul searching. And to me, that is a space of surrender, a space of intention. He is in this place of looking to be awake, right? To pay attention to what we're paying attention to and surrendering into, okay, if this is the highest and best for my soul's journey, I'm doing this, right? So surrender and intention. And to me, it goes back to our prayer of Jabez that we've been looking at, where we did, the first talk was on the asking. For those of you just catching up, let me read the whole thing. Prayer of Jabez, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand might be with me and that you would keep me from evil, that it may not grieve me. So the first one we talked about was that you would bless me. So I talked about asking and asking big, right? The second talk was enlarge my territory, and that's the inner territory, right? Being more instead of doing more. And then now we're at number 3, and I thought we'd go ahead and work it into this part right here in the garden. And that your hand might be with me, that you would keep me from evil. We know that evil is error thinking, so that you would keep me from freaking out right now, okay? I'm surrendering. And how many times when we are having a challenge in our lives and we want to feel like that urge to freak out, we just need to go, there's something bigger than me that's moving through me, expressing as me and my life. And I have to trust that. I choose to trust that. I choose to trust that. We can remember that right now, right? There's something bigger than me, moving through me, as me, expressing as my life, and that means everything around me. And sometimes, right now, it feels scary. It does. And we just surrender into that power and presence that knows how, because we don't have to. And so that is that space of keep me, let your hand be with me, remind me, sweet Spirit. And I promise you, if you say, I want to see a God wink reminding me that I'm okay, you'll start seeing them. You'll start seeing them. When we moved to the country, I was like, before we even moved to the country, we just thought it. And moving back to where I grew up, and I thought, I don't know. And then right after having the thought and saying, okay, show me, Spirit, then the neighbor calls me over through the woods and said, oh, hey, come on over here. And then he says, hey, we follow you online. We love New Thought. I'm sorry, what did you just say? Starts quoting Troward and Holmes and Emerson. I'm like, this is cool. So ask for the God winks and you'll find them. So here we are. All right, let me get back to the garden. So here we are to the garden, and, oh, Peter, soldiers come in. Peter pulls out the sword, whacks off his ear. To me, this is a message of Yeshua's commitment to that surrender, commitment to love, commitment to walking his talk, right? I mean, his guys were like defending him. He could have been like, yeah, take that back to your guys, right? No, instead he picks up the ear, the story says, puts it back on, heals the man, turns to Peter and says, that's not our way. That's not our way, right? Wow, what a great message to be able to stay centered in love, stay centered in surrender. Whew. In a spirit, in a situation like that. To stay walking your talk and staying the course, surrendered to love itself. Today is my Papa Bear's 36th Easter. My mentor, teacher, Reverend David Leonard in Huntsville, Alabama, this is his 36th year in ministry. 36 years. And I was like thinking about that this morning because, wow. And it's because of his continual commitment to surrender and to be in love. To surrender and not fight against conditions and get confused by the conditions of life. Instead, surrendering into love. He quotes almost every time I talk to him, baby girl, remember, as Dr. Ernest Holmes says, divine love brings together and maintains in harmony and balance together those that are meant to be together. Yes, I will. Divine love, I will repeat it, brings together and maintains together in harmony and balance those who are meant to be together. So in spiritual community, that's what we mean by law of attraction. We are here overlapping our heart spaces in this room and online because of that divine connection. And so if you find yourself in that space of I got to make this relationship work, or I have to make this job work, or I have to make this new pet, divine love brings together and maintains together in harmony and balance those that are meant to be together. Oh, let's go to Judas, shall we? So one of my favorite Easter talks I ever did was Praise Judas, and I wish I could have had a camera back at the congregation when I said, the title of my talk today is Praise Judas. And we're like, it was not a very churchy church, but at the same time, their eyes went, boing. Think about it. Without contrast, without catalysts for uncomfortable, we'd stay bug soup, wouldn't we? We wouldn't come out of the chrysalis and be the butterfly. We'd just be hanging out in our little cocoon of bug goo. But oh, a Judas, right? Ever had a Judas? Somebody who loved you so much to say, oh, pick me, God, put me in. I'll go down there and do them wrong in a way that'll make them want to grow and change. So instead of asking, who did that? Ask what. Instead of asking who or blaming who, ask what. What in me is wanting to grow right now? What in me is pulling this growth? What in my soul wants to grow? Because I promise you, if you can let go of the who and the blaming them and go straight to the how is this growing my soul, you will add years to your life. You will. Because you will give yourself the years that you would have spent in blame and attack and defense. Instead going right into, instead of what's the problem? I like my quote and I couldn't remember it. Instead of what's the problem, I can't even say it right. What if we could start asking? There it is. What if we could start asking what is the problem instead of who is the problem? That's what I was trying to say. There we go. I guess I said it, but I thought I said it better on paper, but maybe I didn't, but you get it. What if we could start saying what is the problem instead of who is the problem? Because we get lost in the who. We get lost in that. And our power is in the what. So what about Peter again? What about your divinity are you denying is real? For anybody just coming late to this story, let's go back to Jesus. So they got him. His guys are like, I can't believe this. He was the Messiah, and he did all these things, and I put all my faith in and trust in, and now they got him? Like, well, why wouldn't he, free himself? Why wouldn't he call all the angels down and make this go away? And they're freaking out. And somebody sees Peter on the road and says, hey, you're one of Jesus's guys. You're with Yeshua. He goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Not me. Not once. Not twice. Again, oh, there's that three again. That's another talk, the Trinity. Father, Son, Holy Ghost, and the metaphysical equivalent, but that's another talk. But anyway, notice that it happened 3 times they fell asleep, and 3 times he denied, right? How many times and how many ways do we deny our own divinity when we get stuck in separation, stuck in limitation, stuck in calcified thinking and calcified roles and ways of being and doing things? Man. How are we denying? And also, how are we feeling alone and denying our connection, right? So here he is then on the cross. And he's had all this pain inflicted and humiliation and degrading and just belittling him and all these things happening. And what does he say? Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. Being able to release, forgive, and stay in oneness consciousness when something is right in your face. To release and say, I don't know why this is happening. I don't know how this turns out for my good, but I'm excited to find out. Woo, yeah. You go ahead, God. I'm going to just be so excited when I see how this turns out. Release, forgive, and see through the eyes of oneness. Dr. Ernest Holmes says, if you haven't forgiven everyone, start now. Forgiving everyone. Mary Tumpkin, from a beautiful, powerful teacher from Christ Universal Temple, she used to say, forgive first. Don't pray until you start forgiving. Don't even try. Don't even try, because you're separating yourself from God. How are you supposed to feel connected to Source if you're cutting off pieces of the one? So first, pray, before you pray, forgive. So now here we are at the tomb, right? They've taken him off the cross. They got him in the tomb. And the tomb represents just that space of not just death, but confusion metaphysically, if you're looking at it, right? But every time I think of this part of the story, I hear my grandfather. He loved to play the harmonica and sing. And he lived to be 96 years old. But for that last 2 years, he had dementia, and he would wake up. Every time he woke up, he thought it was breakfast time. And my brother lived with him to take care of him for the last 2 years. And so every time he'd wake up, 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, it was time to get up. But before he'd have breakfast, he'd go, waka, waka, wow, chicka, wow, down, down, ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. And then he'd stand, and he'd do because he did the harmonica, and then the verse, every 5 stanza hymn was 10, right? So it would go on and on. My brother would be like, oh, here it comes. And then he'd be at the bottom of the steps, hey, boy, we gonna have some breakfast? And he'd go downstairs, put him back to bed. About an hour later, my brother's a saint. Anyway, but my pop was a trip, and he was great. But he loved that song, and I did a recording for him one time. When I first started recording, I had a little 4-track recorder that was mobile, and I would take it around, and I put a little mic in front of him, and he sang, oh, with his whole heart, ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. So no grave, no tomb, no old, outworn way can hold us down, can hold down an enlightened consciousness, right? So Jesus, the Christ, had this enlightened consciousness that couldn't be held back. That's the whole point. And then, next lesson, he reveals himself to who? Not to all these dudes he hung out with. No, to the woman. In the Bible, Mary Magdalene, but in the Bible, the feminine represents receptivity. Let's take that somewhere. Listen to that. So that enlightened consciousness is revealed when we are in a space of receptivity. You get that? You get that metaphysically? This is what we do here. We don't take things literally. We go beneath the surface and look for the metaphysical understanding. So that enlightened consciousness comes to us when we're in a receptive space, in a willing space. Then we can transcend old outworn ways of being and experiencing. And then we can really see that really what it boils down to is when we're it's okay to do it your way, and we're practicing a spirituality or not, whatever it is that how we're living in our lives, that it's okay, and that we can see whether we're Buddhist, Jewish, Christian, atheist, science of mind, unity, doesn't matter. We can still tune in and see and feel that universal love flowing through all of life when we're open and when we're receptive. We had this dinner party this past Friday night, and I purposely invited a friend of mine who was a minister, her husband, 3 other friends who I think they don't consider themselves, I'm not going to speak for them, but my understanding before we had this meeting was that they probably didn't consider themselves spiritual or religious. And yet they're very spiritual to me. They spiritually feed me. So I was like, okay, this will be fun. And I put in the text, come to dinner and let's have some spiritual conversation. And even the minister was like, so what does this mean? And I'm like, I don't know. It just happened. I just said it. So here we are at the table. And one of them says, so could someone define what spirituality is to you? And someone said, my awareness of universal love moving through my life. I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So when we're in that space of receptivity and willingness, then we can have a deeper awareness of universal love, universal intelligence, the divine, by whatever name you give it, moving through your life. Living by the example of the risen Christ consciousness, when we do that, there's no grave, there's no tomb, there's no old way of thinking, there's no calcified experiences that have any power over us anymore. There's no condition out there that we get lost or confused in. No, nothing can hold us down. And what we need to do is just keep choosing to look and to see and to be aware of that universal love, to be aware that, everything is holy. Everything is sacred to the degree that we allow it to be, to the degree that we see it as such. And to conclude, I'd like to share again that the reading that David shared from Science of Mind, Living the Science of Mind. Easter is the glad remembrance of an ever-ascending spirit within us. It is the resurrection of the body of our affairs from the time of confusion. Our consciousness of God within is the resurrection we seek. Dr. Ernest Holmes. Our consciousness of God within, when we have that consciousness of God within, then we can see it everywhere else. And so it is. Yeah. So we let it be. Yeah. I decided I want to sing it too. When I thought about what is something that musically speaks to seeing the divine everywhere, this Peter Mayer song came to mind. It's a very quiet song. I know we have some very excited kids that tell them I'll be done in just a second. I can hear them. They're so excited. When I was a girl each week, Sunday we would go to church, listen to my daddy preach. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. And wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. And so the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, I could barely wet my fingertips.
Now I have to hold my breath. It's like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, having second-rate hand-me-down. Now I'm walking with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out. Now the only difference is everything is holy. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Every time I pick that song to sing, I think, why am I picking a song that makes me cry? But it's a good cry. I love that song. I'm grateful for it. So let's, are they coming in now, or should we move on to the next piece? This is our first time bringing the kids in. So Terry Ann's coming up to do the closing. So how about you give us just one more second? And you can have them come on in, though. Come on, Terry Ann. Yeah. You can have them come on in, and then we'll have them come up after we do this part. Are they coming? Okay, 1 minute. They're walking over. Okay. We had a fun little first Children's Day today. Here they come. Come on, everybody. This is so exciting. Megan, thank you so much for having the inspiration to do this for and with us. Megan has launched officially our first Children's Sunday. Come on up, children. We love you. Come on up. And so let's let Terry Ann lead our affirmation, and then y'all can tell us what you did. Go ahead, Terry Ann.
Join me in our affirmation for our children.
Children, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way you are. And you're pretty cool, too. It looks like you had fun today. You want to tell us what you did? Anyone? You don't have to, but if anyone wants to, we'd love to hear. All right, Megan.
So today was our first official children's church, and since it's Easter and spring, we talked about how Easter is all about, and spring is all about blooming and growing, and we talked about the different things we wanted to grow in our lives, and so we made a spiritual garden. All the children got a flower, and they got to write and color on it, and they wrote the different things they want to grow in their life this season. So they wrote things like happiness, life, family, patience. We have some very intuitive children. Kindness, more nays. I wonder who that was. So yeah, we had a great time, and then we read a little meditation book, and we had some outside time. We had an Easter egg hunt before we started all this, so thank you everybody who came and brought your children. We had a blast.
Thank you so much for doing that. We really appreciate y'all. And you know what? We do have to blow those candles out. So would the rest of you kids like to help us with that? Go ahead. Have at it. Go ahead. Make a wish and blow it out. Oh, yeah. Good job. One more. You got it. One more. You got it. He can.
Yay! Awesome. All right, go ahead, Terry. Thank you so much for being here. We look forward to seeing more of you. I mean, more of you and more of you. Yeah. Go ahead, Terry. Y'all can sit right there if you want to, or you can sit right here. You can stay right there. It's okay. You can do whatever you want.
Go ahead. Now it is time for our. Okay. Now it is time for our conscious giving moment. Please join me, your hand over your heart, and say, Divine love, moving through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life.
And so normally we do an abundance song right here, but I think since we got the kids in here, when we are in our abundance, prosperity is abundance in all forms. And when we're living in that aligned place and have that flowing, then it's easy to shine our light. So I think we do it a little differently today as the baskets are coming around. What do you think? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Kids, do y'all know this part where you say no? You ready? Hide it under a bushel. I'm gonna let it shine. That's right. Hide it under a bushel. No. I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Big finish, Jolie. You ready to show them how we do it? I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. She said, does it? Gonna let it shine. Oh, thank you.
Let my heart stir when I'm doing my treatment, but this morning my heart was calling to me earlier. And so, to quote Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the pen was hot. So I'm going to read this.
All right.
Okay. Oh, such a glorious day. Spirit, all loving, all knowing, ever present, true perfection. I am the creation of this perfection, this knowledge, and this love. I am the keeper of Spirit's message. And as I journey down this beautiful path, I encourage all to join me, all of you, to share and spread this love that can penetrate the steel doors of prisons, allowing comfort and peace to enfold those who dwell there. Love which uplifts and nourishes the souls of those experiencing pain. Love that fills the hearts and cells of those whose body experience maladies. We carry the torches of illumination. We are the wayseers, the instruments of insight and intelligence. Our energy propels us to the mountaintops where our voices ring out, clearly and methodically. We are all one, and so it is.
Thank you, Terry. I just want to speak a word of abundance, of knowing, of blessing. What I know for each and every person that gives to Awaken Spiritual Community or anywhere that you feel spiritually fed, I know that the law says it returns multiplied to overflowing, pressed down, shaken together. That's the law of the way, the spiritual law that governs the universe. That's reciprocity, that as we give, we receive. And so I know that each person is blessed and a blessing. Thank you, God. So it is. Right. Join us in our closing song, if you will. And Susan's not here, so I'm betting that means my bread was taken out about 5 minutes ago, or actually right now. The bread is coming out of the oven, so give me a minute or two to slice it up for you. But come next door and have some fresh bread with us. We're so glad that you're here. Join us in our closing song. We let the love wash over us. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. And then we take it down like a prayer, and we remember that there's grace always. We let the grace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We love you, we bless you, and we thank you. Have a fantastic week, and we look forward to seeing you Friday night for our gala and all the weekend long. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.